Hey everybody. Well, today I thought we'd take another time machine trip back in time to look at one of these Star Wars The Power of the Force figures that Kenner came out with back in 1996. So this figure is now 26 years old. And, I bought just about every figure they made back then. Not all of them, but just about all of them from the Power of the Force line. They had all kinds of really cool figures. Mainly I bought them and I kept them in the package just to display and thinking maybe that they might be worth something someday, and apparently everybody else had the same idea because 26 years later, the vast majority of these really aren't worth a whole lot. So that was kind of a miserable failure, but oh well. In the meantime, this was probably my absolute favorite figure from that line, and this was, of course, R2-D2. You know how much I love R2, but was so cool about this figure is he comes with this really cool diorama, and he has a couple of other really cool features. This was also an electronic R2-D2. His little red eye lights up, and he has some sound effects when you push the vents on the front of his body. Now I have two of these. One is out of the package. I don't know where it is. I looked for it, and I did find the other one that's still in the package, but I went ahead and bought this one on eBay because just in case I can't find that other one, I didn't want to have the other one open. So I found this on eBay. It was only $7. So that just goes to show you how these have really not gotten, any kind of value to them over the years. I don't even remember how much these were originally. It's probably somewhere around that same price, $7 or $8 maybe back then. So unfortunately, they did not gain any value at all. But still, it's a really cool figure. As soon as I saw this figure back when this came out, I immediately bought two because I really did like this diorama that he comes with. Now you can see it's kind of flat on the ground, and that's because R2 has a little magnet in his feet. I think it's the middle leg, and there's a little wand back there. You can just see the handle of it sticking out. And you could actually scoot little R2 around the floor of the ground right there, which was really cool, like a little, I don't know, movement, remote control kind of thing. Now, as I mentioned, this is an electronic R2-D2, so that means those batteries inside of him are 26 years old. So I don't know if they're going to work or not, but we're going to find out. I did have some luck if you've seen some past videos with some 26-year-old batteries with a Playmates Enterprise. So we'll see if I can have the same kind of luck with this. On the back of the package, I always thought this was kind of cool too. It has this little cutout. So you can actually put this little background on there, which I thought was really neat. You can see it slots into the back of the base. I don't remember exactly how that happened, but I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the package and cut out this little background, and we'll put everything all together. And then I remember these guys too. These were the electronic FX Power Darth Vader and Ben Kenobi. I can't remember if I got these guys or not. I can't remember, but you could actually move them around with some wands as well, so it looks like they were fighting. And it also had the dual background. You had one side of the Millennium Falcon with Darth Vader and the other with Ben Kenobi. I'm pretty sure I had these guys, but I don't know. That was a long time ago. All right, well, let me take this out of the package because I'm very curious to see how this looks. All right, so once again, it's really fun to open something that is decades old, and nobody's ever taken this out. This little guy has been stuck in this package, and I want to be careful opening this because I don't want to bend up that background. Well, let's go from this side, actually. And we'll try to rip this out of here. And I'm not sure how good this is glued in, but we'll see how this goes. I really got to be careful of that background. I don't want to mess that up. All right, well, let me finagle with this for a little bit. All right, so this glue is surprisingly strong for as old as it is. So we got that off of there, and I didn't bend that background up. The package is a little bit bent at the top, but that's okay. We're not going to need that part. All right, so here is the back of that. Here's that wand that you can move around that makes R2 move around, as I remember. Let's take this out. All right, so here's the background. That looks really good, actually. The paint job on it is pretty well done for being what it is. There's that smooth ground. There's a little post right here, and that was for, you could put another figure standing there. I think I had a 3PO standing there, if I can recall. So here's where you can move that around and make R2 move around. All right, let's take him out. He's in another clamshell here. And let's get him out of here. Sorry for the plastic noise. Boy, he's stuck in there. I wonder if he's got some wires on him. You can see the magnet on his foot right there. Right. Oh, okay, there we go. All right. Oh, you know what? There is a battery. Okay, so for whatever reason, I thought this had a non-changeable battery. I didn't think you could change it, but there is. Probably button cells, I'm sure. All right, let's push it and see if he works. Oh. Oh my gosh, he does. 26 years later, those batteries are working again. Woo, man, I've been knocking it out of the park with that. That one's a little shorter. I'm not sure how many of these he's got. So I think there's just the 2. So I think one's longer than the other. That's really cool. So you can bend his... Oops, I didn't mean to push that again. You can bend his legs, and we'll get him into position so that he looks proper. And as if I can recall, they did have the front foot, as you can see, it is pivoted to the right position, and you're going to have to even out his legs right here. They're not going to go as far back as they probably... Well, it might be looking okay. All right, well, let's go ahead and cut out that background, and we'll attach it to the base. Alright, so I just had to kind of curve this a little bit since the back of this is curved. Now you'll notice these little tabs sticking out right here and here, so those just go on with those little flaps that I cut out earlier, so it kind of goes on like that. Then you kind of work this around. Actually, you probably need to kind of put them both on at the same time, like this. And slide them on like that. And there we go. Got a nice little background going on there. Looks very cool. Alright, let's get R2 on there. Alright, so you got to match up the magnet on the back onto the base, but I got to tell you, this R2, he doesn't move as good as the original one I had. I mean, I used to be able to move the other one. I mean, he's moving a little bit okay, as you can see here, but there's not a lot of room on the base here. See, look at that. It's very, very narrow, and so it doesn't provide him with a whole lot of room to turn around and stuff. So it's kind of a rinky-dink kind of setup. But the one I had before, it worked a lot better. He slid around better. I mean, this one slides. I had to kind of work at it. You also you have to get his feet flat. Like all 3 feet have got to be flat on there. So, I mean, he does move, but it's pretty, I don't know, as you can hear, it's pretty, I don't know, doesn't really work all that good, but here we got the little, Alright, well, yeah, it's pretty rough, but I still think it's pretty cool. So here's a side view of it. You can see the little stick back here, and you can you have to kind of pinpoint where his middle leg is to kind of grab it. And it works fine, but they really need to make that area that he rolls around on wider. I mean, maybe out to here would have been a lot better. At least you could maybe try to make him turn around. Like I said, the earlier version of this, I thought he moved a lot easier. Another thing that's kind of cool is that they made the little handle right here, so it looks like a piece of rock as well. But yeah, so I mean, it's okay considering what it is. So there we go, the Kenner electronic R2-D2 from the Power of the Force line action figures that came out back in 1996. So yeah, I mean it's it's okay. It's a decent thing. I do love this little feature of being able to make him move, even though this one doesn't slide as good as my original one. But considering that this one was so different from all the other figures, just because it did have the background and the scenery, I think it's really cool. And of course, he's got the electronics. So that was always very cool to have a feature like that. So anyway, if you have one of these things, just know that unfortunately they never went up in value, and if you're looking to get one, well, they're dirt cheap on eBay. Like I said, I got this one for only $7, brand new in the package, and there was a whole bunch of them on there, varying in different prices, but I found this one to be a pretty good one, and the seller was super, super nice. She even refunded me some money that I overpaid on the shipping, so that was really cool. Alright, well, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe too. I'd very much appreciate it. So until the next video, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one!